Robert Isidro Martinez.
Life has a way of putting you in the place that you need to be. We get everything we ask for, just not on the level we want. And that's what 2023 was for me. It was filling off check marks and doing things that I've never done before, while also progressing forward and doing the things that I needed to do to grow as Robert Martinez, the individual. Going into 2023, I was so excited. If you remember in my 2022 Yuri video, I had already talked about how I learned this lesson of standing up for myself and distancing myself, and I stayed true to that this year. But this year, I really began to build off everything. I remember going into the year super excited and feeling like I was going to finish all my projects and I was going to unveil and do all this crazy sort of stuff, and really nothing went as planned. Around January, my dad came to visit me, and I remember he looked so skinny, and I knew something was off, and I didn't know what it was, but I just knew he wasn't the same person anymore. I knew that something was wrong. And in February, my dad went to the hospital. When he got to the hospital, they told him that he not only had stage 4 colon cancer, the aggressive kind, and he had this giant tumor, but he also found out that he had a major infection from it. I genuinely thought that I was gonna lose my dad within a span of a few days. I remember going up to the hospital with my sibling and preparing myself to say goodbye. And I remember looking back at my dad and just trying to soak everything in and think to myself, this is the last time I'm gonna see my dad. And it was like nothing else mattered. It was just...
And there was a few companies that did that for them. Would have all the celebrities or soap opera stars or the athletic stars we did.
I don't think that you ever truly appreciate something until it's gone, or until you're about to lose it. And in this case, it was like my entire world came crumbling down on me. But after all of this, none of us were the same. Thankfully, my dad is still with us. He's been given more time with us. But as soon as he went home, my dad could no longer work. And he was one of the main providers in our family. And because he was no longer making money, this meant that I had to step up and I had to help. And I had so much money aside, but I just got all that and I just put it towards my family, because at the end of the day, family is more important than all the other stuff I have going on. And so everything that I tell you in this year review happened underneath this belief that either I was about to lose my dad or that I needed to take care of my family, and so I didn't have a lot of money for everything that you see in this video, but somehow I made it happen. All right, pre-interview, did we take forever?
Just a bit.
Just a tiny bit, okay.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
But when you're about to lose your dad and you have to take care of your family, it really puts everything into perspective. I stopped worrying about those petty relationships I had in the past with friends and things, and I just started putting all my energy towards taking care of the people that I love. But you remember all those projects that I really wanted to finish this year? I actually had to put them aside, and I just had to focus on family and me, because this was the year that I grew into me. But at the end of spring, things actually began to calm down. My dad went home from the hospital, and I went back to work here in Denton. Alright, I'm recording. We're late to your graduation. We're late today.
Traffic.
traffic. But since it was spring, UNT was having their 2023 commencement ceremony. But since I graduated in 2020 during the global shutdown, I never got any sort of commencement ceremony. I never walked across the stage. I walked across a computer screen. I celebrated from the quarters of my home, but I never got a graduation. Ever since then, over time, I used to go to different people's graduations and I would feel bad because I would feel like this was supposed to be my moment. I never got this moment to celebrate my accomplishments. I also felt horrible because I felt like I put so much work into college, and as a Latino, as a minority, my parents never got to see me walk the stage. You know, everything I do it for my parents. And with this new cloud above me of possibly losing my father, I knew I had to do something. So I ended up reaching out to somebody, we ended up pulling some strings, and this was the year where Robert Martinez was finally gonna walk in the 2023 commencement ceremony. I was finally getting a graduation.
Priscilla loses, cum laude.
Robert Isidro Martinez.
He fell down a little.
He did it on purpose.
Yeah. He's funny.
Sydney Alexis McClellan.
I actually found out that I was gonna walk probably a week before I actually walked, which means everything that I've ever wanted to do, I had to cram it into a week. And you know, I always said like if I was going to ever walk the stage, I was going to decorate my graduation cap. And because I was wanting the experience, I had to finish my graduation cap in a week, and I had to get my family on board to come. What was also exciting about this too was I also got to make 2 YouTube videos out of it. Now YouTube was something that I've always wanted to do, but I never felt like I put enough energy towards it. So I started to pick up my camera more and more and more, and I just started filming. And this year was the very first year that I went to Pride, and I filmed it all, and I knew I was gonna make a YouTube video over it, and I ended up posting it at the end of the year. But after everything, I realized that there was something very, very special about me. I've never given up on my dreams. YouTube has been something I've always wanted to do. And this was the first year where everything began to click. And I realized that if I was ever going to gain any sort of platform to help other people, that this was something that I had to stick to. And I realized that. And so I really set myself on my YouTube journey, and everything really began to take off. I actually put a whole YouTube video up about it. It didn't get too many views, but that video is so significant to me because it marks a special point in my journey where everything began to change. After that, I had so many YouTube ideas. I had so much that I wanted to do, and I finally had the ambition, and I finally figured out how to do those videos that I've always wanted to do. And this year, I got them done. This year I put out a video called The Night I Became a Drag Queen. And this is a video I have actually wanted to do forever. I even filmed it a long time ago, but I didn't like it, so it never went on my YouTube channel. In between performances, I ended up going up to Kylie O'Hara Fattel and telling her, hey, you know, it's my birthday, and I've never been to a drag show before, but you're pretty and you're amazing, and this has literally been like the best experience of my life. I ran up to her and I go, oh my gosh, you're so beautiful, you are so amazing, oh my gosh, today's my birthday, and this is so special. And basically I was fangirling, but it was also because I was on a high. Like, this was the best thing I've ever seen. This year I also came out with a video called How I Came Out. It was a video that talked about how I gained the courage to finally come out of the closet. I filmed this video many, many times before, but I never put it out because I felt like I was making some of the negative parts. I feel like I was making that too much of my story. And for me, my journey is never about negativity. And so every single time I filmed it, it just was never right until this year. So whenever I was in the UNT 21 Snapchat group chat, I had started posting myself. And I caught the attention of somebody who didn't necessarily like what I was posting.
3, 2, 1.
I was never scared. I was never gonna give in to what they were trying to get me to do. I was never gonna stop being myself. This is a hard video to make because I've already made this video several times, but I've never posted it because there's always something about it that I cannot get right. This year, I felt like I had the right recipe for the video. Like, it wasn't the negative thing. That was not the main reason why it came out. There are so many other reasons. And I feel like in the video that I put out, I feel like I effectively showed that. I was scared that was gonna fall down. Okay, that's it. Okay. And as tradition, I signed the door and I wrote, "This upcoming year, be extra gay." But when I figured out that I wanted to do YouTube videos, that was when I realized that I had so much to do. I actually ended up working on 3 YouTube videos on my birthday just so I could have more content. On my birthday, I actually got the limited edition Spider-Man 2 PS5, which is currently my most viewed video. Here's the PS5, the custom Spider-Man 2 PS5. They're gonna blow up the whole block. So I did this one last time. The other video that I filmed on my birthday was about me turning 24 and throwing a birthday party for myself. I talked about how I got stood up in the past whenever I tried to do a party, and this was kind of me getting closure for that.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Chug, chug, chug. We're just peer pressuring her on camera. And this is my best friend Hugo. I've known him since middle school and he's always been great. He's one of those friends where you meet up with after a long time and you end up just clicking like old times. As things with my family began to calm, I actually got to save up some money. And with that money, I finally paid off my credit card debt. Now that's a huge deal for me because it felt impossible to do that with everything that was going on. But I'm done. I am credit card debt free and I don't think I am getting enough credit for it. And this was a period where I got to make so much growth within myself. I began to be able to verbalize things that I have never been able to verbalize in the past. I learned that in this world, people don't do things to you. People only do things for themselves. And when I learned that, it completely changed my world. I really began to forgive so many people in my life. So you remember last year, I learned about standing up for myself and distancing myself. And this year, I learned to forgive those people. I actually got a new phone too. And with all the personal growth that I've had this year, I finally decided to cut people out. Some of these people I really don't like. Like I had an old teacher's name in there and then I had parentheses bitch next to it because I did not like her. And I'm so ready to get rid of her contact out of my phone. Delete. If you happen to be somebody and you find yourself to be blocked on social media or your number, I just want to let you know, bitch, that's your fault. I started putting myself around people who make me feel good about myself. I started putting myself around people who want to be around me and who treat me with respect and they get excited and they ask me how I'm doing, and that makes me feel good because I didn't have that for a long time. The amount of growth that I had made this year has been so insane. More at peace. I feel like I'm not worried about all these different things anymore. I feel like I'm in the place that I need to be. With all this growth and emotional journey came positivity. That's right, the Texas Rangers won the World Series. Now you actually have to watch my YouTube video of me going to the parade, but going there and celebrating with all these Texas Rangers fans and seeing all the crazy stuff that happened was the absolute highlight of my entire year. MVP! 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 This year, I grew so much. I really began to focus on everything that was important to me, and I feel like I really grew into myself. Me as an individual, Robert Martinez. Something that I'm going to do differently in 2024 is that I'm going to take my time, I'm going to pace myself, I'm going to continue growing and do so at a healthy rate. I'm not going to be hard on myself on deadlines, but I am going to continue to work on everything that I love and putting out the very best content. Thank you guys so much for watching. Okay, bye!